All right, guys, you may recognize this amazing man, this amazing face, Djimon Hounsou, right? You've seen him in a few movies. I'm saying a few just to keep it humble here, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about your foundation and the inspiration behind it. So let's start with that. Why did you decide to create this foundation?
I think about a little over 30 years ago when I first came to America, I mean, I felt this tremendous disconnect with Afro-descendants, and that really, sort of like created such a void. And ever since, I've been, looking forward to champion this idea of unity and diversity,
right?
So that we can all celebrate, the history of this country. Yes.
And then the mission behind it is a beautiful mission, and it kind of segues into this Run Richmond 1619. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, Run Richmond 1619 is a way to celebrate our ancestors, is a way to look back at what took place here. This was staged in a way that, as you know, music and sports are the only two elements that brings people together, a great number of people together.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah, that's how it sort of like it came about, the idea of using a marathon as a way of getting people together so that you can run it or walk it. It should be spiritually elevating.
Yeah.
And that's the idea, hopefully.
Yeah, and if you're thinking Run Richmond 1619, that sounds familiar. You started last year, right?
We started last year here in Richmond. Last year in September, and this year again we're doing September 30th.
Okay.
And this will be the second installment of our event. But again, ultimately, what we're trying to achieve is to sort of cover the triangle of the slave trade, which is obviously. The first ship came to Richmond, Virginia. Liverpool is the second leg of the transatlantic slave trade, and the third is obviously the west coast of Africa.
Right.
So the idea ultimately is to, we started in Virginia and really want to get the momentum, a great momentum here in Virginia.
Yeah. So look, guys, you may not even realize the history right here in Richmond, but that's what we're bringing here. And the race kind of runs through some of those trails, right?
Yes, that's right. Some of the, we have two courses. And the long course is obviously 19 kilometers long. And the short route is 6.19 kilometers long. And so by taking those routes, we would, obviously we will have a local historian at, site to advise the runners.
You mentioned the Finish Festival. That's where, kids and everybody can come afterwards. But the Run Richmond 1619, it's not just for runners, right? Everybody, what do you want people to experience from this?
I want people to, come together, as like I indicated, the goal ultimately for me, it's unity and diversity. I would like people to come together and really celebrate the past history of our ancestors, and I think it's a spiritual healing, really. The grief that's been lingering over time and the overwhelming intergenerational trauma that's been that took place in this country and continue. Obviously we all experienced it in 2020.
Yes,
this is still a reality in this country. But ultimately, I mean, what we're trying to, achieve is to, what this country represented, which is, the diverse, cultural living in this country.
Yeah. So you did this last year, right? We started one year in Richmond to Run Richmond 1619. What do you think people kind of got from that experience last year, or what did you hope with your mission that people were kind of gaining?
Well, I hope that, each and every one of us would experience and feel the 400 years of, the Black history. And along the course, you will see sites of our ancestors, what they have achieved or not achieved, but
right here in our area.
Right here.
Yeah.
And so much of history, and obviously, there's no America without Black history. But it's unfortunate that they only give us a month to highlight that, but you couldn't speak about American history without, acknowledging the Black history in this country.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. So we're getting out, we're learning, we're experiencing, we're feeling, as you mentioned, yes, it's the healing. So again, guys, Run Richmond 16-19, September 30th. And the willingness to take place, you can head over to runrichmond1619.org for more information here. So thanks so much for taking the time to say this. All right, guys, we'll be right back with more.